who the saint, the music, and the art are on a 3-week rotation. So we'll be on Kateri Tekakwitha for 3 weeks, Johann Sebastian Bach for 3 weeks, and Native American Hopi pottery for 3 weeks. But you can rotate it out. So like if the first week you want to do Kateri Tekakwitha, this would be like during snack time. So your little kids could color a picture of Kateri, which I don't think we have one, but that's something that we could print out for them. And then there are these lovely little resources on Catholic Schoolhouse. At the beginning of every week, I'll play it for you guys. At the beginning of every week's So at the beginning of every week's material is like an introduction to the artist and the saint and the musician. So we'll listen to it, and this could be your first week, what you do.
Saint Kateri Tekakwitha is one of the church's newest saints. When Jesuit missionaries visited her village, she was baptized and became a Christian. Kateri, who was born in the Mohawk tribe, is often called Lily of the Mohawk because of her purity and love for Jesus. The Native Americans already had their own art when the Europeans arrived. They made beautiful pottery entirely by hand that they used to carry water, store food, and cook. But their pottery wasn't just functional. It was also decorated with colorful geometric designs. They created other art forms too, like sand painting, rug weaving, and they even made jewelry out of beads. Johann Sebastian Bach was born in Germany in 1685. Everyone in his family was a musician, so he too became a musician. In fact, he grew up to become a very famous composer. He was a deeply religious man who dedicated all of his work to the glory of God. Bach was able to play and write music for all the instruments of his time, but his favorite was the pipe organ. That is the instrument you hear in toccata and fugue in D minor.
So for this time, like you could play that would be part of it. And then maybe the next week you want to focus on Kateri. One of the neat ideas was that they could make holy cards for each of the saints that they learn about. So you could, for the little ones, you could have them color in like a front of a card and paste it onto a flashcard. And then they could write a prayer, like Kateri's prayer. They could do copy work on the back. Or like for the older kids, they could actually draw Kateri and then write her prayer on the back. It was just a neat idea. But this is just kind of a relaxing time for them to kind of chill out, eat their snack, and learn a little more about their saint or the musician. The toccata and fugue, which is the first piece of music that they'll be learning, is in its entirety at the end of the CD. So you could just play that while they're drawing.
Yes, this is after 12:15. Is that
No. This is your third session, 10:15 to 10:45.
So, for St. Teresa, you're saying?
Yeah, St. Teresa of Avila.
And are we supposed to bring snacks for them then?
No, they bring their own.
So we bring snacks for our kids. Oh, kids. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. As a
That was-
tutor,
yeah,
you don't need to provide for the whole class.
Okay.
For your own children, you'll need to bring a snack. Yep. So that's basically presentation, saint, music, and art. Do you guys have questions about that?
Is the snack always in that presentation, seems, okay.
Yeah, it'll always be around that time. Yeah.
Was that the paper that you had up in the Catholic school up on the top? Was that like, what was that?
This thing?
Yeah.
These are little resources that are on, they're on the website, right? And so we could print these out for you, or if you wanted to go on there and kind of explore. I will tell you, none of these are up yet, because it's all year 3 still. So she's in the process of switching over to year 1. So, there's pictures of the composers that they could draw. There's actually, if you are really ambitious and you want to teach them to play something on the recorder, you can do that. much I was thinking about that when you said snack. Is snack always at that time?
I mean, is it always during their presentation?
Yeah.
Musician artists.
Because I was thinking about that. Some kids are gonna be waiting a really long time for snack. So whoever, Beth, it would be you.
Yeah.
You guys could sneak in a snack like between science and art or something like that.
Or just
However
change
you
your whole
want it.
thing around, you could do that however you want.
Well, you can't do, like, we can't, the
Except
only
for the
things
science
on here,
part.
yeah, the only things on here that can't be changed, you guys can do these in any order, but the only thing that can't be changed is the science and art times, because the science and art time tutors are kind of allotted already, because they'll be with the older kids in the morning, the early morning.
I could probably do it like the last 5 minutes or whatever,
Yeah.
the early one,
Of-
and
yeah.
then we can give them another little snack after.
Yeah.
We'll just, when I email the parents, I'll just say, find something that they can have 2 little snacks, and that way you can
Yeah.
split the snack time up.
Right, I didn't even think about that, so thank you for bringing that up. So that's what you would cover during the Saint time, and then you would have review. So review is just something fun that you do every week. Depending on the age of your kids, you can review like 6 weeks at a time, or you can review the entire year. So week 1, obviously, there's not gonna be a whole heck of a lot to review. Basically, you're just gonna be playing games with the memory work that you just did. But week 2, you can review week 1. Week 3, you can review weeks 1, 2, and 3. Does that make sense? So it's kind of building. We just talked about toward the end of the year, if you have kids who are really, really ambitious and they would like to memorize every piece of memory work for the entire year, we would test them. So the parents would test them, they would need to test with another adult, and then they would test with you, the tutor. And if they passed all 3 of those tests, then they would get a t-shirt or pizza party or something fun that they could do. The benefit of doing that is that it's ingrained in their brains for years to come. So that's just another thing that we talked about.
You're saying if they learn the timeline?
Every piece of memory work, like, so if I, like, basically the entire book.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, which, and they can do it, you would be amazed. My daughter did it 2 years in a row with classical conversations, which is kind of the Protestant equivalent of Catholic schoolhouse.
Can I ask a question?
No.
When we're getting the
I said no.
The guidebooks, where can we get those? Is it at
The website.
okay, it's just Catholic School, School?
Catholic
I'll send you
schoolhouse.com.
links, Beth. I'll make sure that I get a reminder out to everyone
Okay.
regarding the materials that you need.
So every family will need to purchase one of these. So, the kids, not every kid needs one, just one per family. And there are the science books and the art books. If you want to purchase those, you can. This is called the tour guide,
Okay. So purchase the tour guide.
year 1. How much is this? $28?
$28.
Let's see. Okay, so then according to the schedule after review, and review is like for games. You can utilize your parents that are in the room, and what some of us did were we would make flashcards of, like the front would say, what's a mammal? And on the back would have the answer of what is a mammal. And so they would have them in a brown bag, and each kid would go up and pick one out, and they would have to answer it. If they answered it, they got a sticker. So after review games, you would get to pass them on to the art tutor. So you would walk them to their art class, and then you would have a break. Just lovely. And then at the end of art, you would go get them and take them to their science teacher. So you would just follow your schedule based on the class that you're in. Does that make sense? That's kind of how your day looks. Is that, do you guys have any questions? Yeah.
So there's no breaks for the art or science teacher?
Um,
I just noticed, I was like, oh.
they're kind of back to back. Yeah, they are.
What happens, John?
Sorry. But the older kids, the neat thing about the art and science tutor is they're doing the same thing over and over again. so that it's kind of automatic. And the parents will be in there to help as well. So,
It's really only 3 hours too.
Yeah.
yeah, it's exhausting, but, and I'm sure if you need to go to the bathroom or if you need to get a snack, whatever, like, you know.
And other people are doing our work of schooling our children, so that's a load off.
There you go. If you two don't mind, that's.
The art and science tutors do end up with a 30-minute break.
Do they?
Yeah, if you add the time, we have 3 hours of classes, and so we have, they will have 1 hour with the combined, the St. Thomas group is one large group.
Yeah, but we have to teach the high schoolers during that break.
Yeah. Oh, that's,
Hold on.
okay, wait.
Yeah,
Let's
because
think
from
about it.
10:15 to
Pause.
11.